Having spotted the M-fish boat, this diver appears to be dumping his haul.
Stop that! Where's the catch bag? When you start avoiding fishery officers and playing zigzag between boats, it gets pretty serious.
At Whangaroa Harbour in the far north, M-fish officers are heading out on the water to make sure recreational fishermen and divers are playing by the rules.
It's the last day of the scallop season and we're out on the water. We'll just check boats as we come across them today. There's a few boats there, Joe?
As part of their surveillance, M-fish are especially interested in any craft showing signs of having divers down.
They've probably already got crayfish on board, you know.
They spot a telltale blue and white flag that means a diver is down. Henry and the team decide to play wait and see what the diver comes up with.
Nothing. You got anything on board?
The fishermen are quick to own up.
How many have you got? How many scallops have you got? 2. Did you count them?
Whangaroa Harbour is the playground of many wealthy Aucklanders who enjoy diving and a good feed of scallops. But some don't always play by the rules.
Stop!
Having spotted the M-fish boat, this diver appears to be dumping his haul.
Stop that! Where's the catch bag? Bring it over here. Where's your pig catch bag? Where's your pig catch bag? And it's empty now. Why did you dump your scallops over here? Why did you flick your catch bag over the side?
Sorry?
Why did you flip your catch bag and dump your scallops behind your boat over here?
The pair are strangely reluctant to answer.
Turn your motor off, please, sir. Fisheries officer.
Yep.
There's my right. How many scallops did you take?
Not very many.
Not very many.
I had trouble with my tank being unstable and I couldn't swim very fast.
When you start avoiding fishery officers and playing zigzag between boats, it gets pretty serious, you know.
Because we weren't avoiding it. We didn't.
Look, I've been on the water for a long time, and I know when people are trying to hide behind boats from us. Okay. So I mean, it gets pretty serious when you start playing hide and go seek with us. Okay. I suggested future, if you see a fishery officer approach, you stop.
George can only wonder how many scallops were dumped over the side.
Anyway, thank you very much. I mean, it could have been worse.
Yeah.
They saw us coming, clearly saw us coming, and attempted to hide behind the boat. And I actually saw the woman grab the catch bag and tip it over the side, but they just flicked around the corner because she admitted that she did actually dump some scallops. They could have faced quite serious charges: obstruction, failing to stop. They probably just panicked at the wrong time, and they'll be dealt with. They had undersized scallops, so we'll deal with them that way.
Across the other side of the harbour, the others have identified more underwater activity.
I've just seen a diver come up to the surface, and it looks like he passed the bag up to another person on board.
So 1 diver, 2 dives. What do you reckon?
I could be in a little bit of trouble here.
Let's go, man. In we go.
Okay. Which way you want to go around the island?
No, straight in. Then we can keep an eye on him.
The diver is returning with a substantial haul.
Always like to meet the fishery officer when I get out of the water. This is the part that's good.
I'll get you to jump on, Hori, and we'll push off, eh?
George gets straight down to business, and his colleagues aren't far behind for the big count and measure. The diver and skipper can only watch as George meticulously measures the lot.
Do you have any scallops on the boat that are still in the shell, any other than these ones? Nothing? We might have a look around, eh, if you don't mind? Okay.
Half of these undersized. I think it was a count of 20 undersized ones and 18 surplus to the divers allowable to take for the day. Case law is such that once the scallops are placed in your bag on the sea floor, they are yours. At that stage, if they are undersized, you are in possession of undersized. If you've got more than the 20, you are in possession of excess shellfish.
To come up with 60 when you only really need to take 20, it's probably a little bit excessive. Do you have any reason why you've got 60 scallops in there? And
oh, just basically going along and it's best I couldn't measuring them and that, but just chucking them in there and going along. It was nice down there.
But that's the big question. Why take 60 when you're only allowed 20? And you could take the time to measure them properly on the bottom as opposed to getting another 40, you know. You'll probably get an infringement, which is an instant fine for taking undersize and excess scallops. Okay.
Okay, guys.
See you later.
Cheers.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want having a look at them now, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
That red boat's not full of action that you want. Yeah, we'll let him go down because he'll get it wrong for sure. He'll come up with hundreds.
Scallops are collected by either dredging the seabed or divers working by hand, but there's a daily limit of 20 per person. The officers watch from a discreet distance.
Just go straight out. We'll sit out there, wait for him.
Kids on board should be okay. Hope so. Okay, going on to him?
Yeah. How are you? We're just fisheries, eh? We're just doing checks on the water. You're the only diver.
Yeah.
How many did you dredge?
I got my 20 and then we got the rest of the dredge.
When did you have a dredge?
Had one before I dived and after I dived.
You sure about that, mate?
Positive.
Well, we've been watching you, eh, for about an hour. You didn't have a dredge after you had your dive, mate.
Henry calls his bluff, but the diver sticks to his story. Every scallop collected from the seabed below must measure at least 100 millimetres in width. It's a time-consuming and exacting business.
As I said, we've been watching a while, eh? And they weren't dredging.
They ran the whole length of the bay.
No, we didn't see any of them there. I'm pretty sceptical. I mean, this guy calls me the chairman of the Skeptical Society, you know? So I am pretty sceptical.
They all counted their 20 scallops each.
Okay. It's not sufficient to just count them, eh? To be actively involved in taking scallops, you have to be operating the dredge. Just based on what you've told me, you should only have 60 scallops on this boat.
Okay.
20 for each person who was actively involved in taking the scallops. Now, how many in total have we got? 104. The good news, it's not in the area of what we consider to be a serious offence.
Yeah, it's old story, you try and do it by the limit book, eh?
Yeah. So it's down to lower.
On the last day of the scallop season.
Well, that's why we're out here, you know. They gave us a story that they dived and they had a dredge after the dive. Now, we saw him surface, and at no stage after he serviced and boarded the boat did they have another dredge. So when I put that to him, he changed his story. I mean, you could go on and on and on and on. There was sufficient there anyway to issue him with a couple of infringement notices